Morning guys, how we doing? Welcome back to another race day vlog. Today we are down at Fradley 10k, which is the second race I did last year and will be the first time I revisit a race since we started the journey. So as I say, 10k race today. It's pretty flat, 2-loop course. So Emma is out spectating us today, so we're gonna go out, no gels, no drink, no nothing. Emma's going to have a gel around the halfway point for me, and we will see how we feel, possibly pick up the gel at that point. As most of you probably know by now, I now will be out after today for 6 to 12 weeks recovery from keyhole surgery to get my meniscus repaired. So today is an all-out full send. Give it absolutely everything we've got in the tank. We haven't ran since Barcelona. Head's been in a bit of a pickle all over the show, so don't know where the legs are at, don't know where the mindset's at, but we are just going to go absolutely everything, see where we can get to. Hopefully there'll be another PB incoming, but yeah, we will get some warm-up done in just a minute, and from there we will get around to the start line. And still undecided even now whether GoPro's going out on the start with me or whether we are just going to get Emma filming as I come past. But yeah, for now, see you in a bit. Right guys, we are down here at the start line. As you can see behind me, we're now starting to get people crowding, ready for a start in about 8 minutes time. So we will do normal. We've brought the GoPro out with us, so we'll do the normal. As soon as we start, get through the start line, we'll start recording, and then we'll drop in and out throughout the race. Probability is that there won't be a lot of talking. It'll just be footage of me running and the run itself, because I intend to go out at probably just be beyond 5k pace today and see where we go. So we'll drop in and out and let you know how we're getting on.
Feeling all right?
struggling a bit, but
yeah? Get on the back of that group. Yeah, yeah. Well done, mate. Keep going. Go on, Beckett, all the way.
Well done, everybody. Just over 56 now.
So guys, there we go. That is Fradley 10k completed. Last race before the operation next week, and I am absolutely overjoyed to say another PB. So season's going to get cut short early doors because of the injury or because of the operation next week, but going out on a massive high. Targeted sub 55, but dying in the last mile or so, really struggling to keep up. I went out too hot in my first mile. I'll do a full recap later with my splits, but went out too hot in mile 1 and paid for it at the end. But we still came in on the watch. There's 55.25, which is 2 minutes and 8 seconds off my previous, so a 2 minute 8 second PB. We'll drop back in and give you a full recap of the race when we're back in the office tomorrow, or maybe later on today. But yeah, absolutely good, buzzing. Another PB, another 2 minutes off, and gives me something to target for when we get back from the operation now. See you in a bit. Right guys, so we are now back in the office, early doors Monday morning, so we'll just run you through a short recap of that race. All in all, really great race. As you saw from earlier part of the video, another massive PB for me, 2 minute PB over a 10k. It's 30 seconds or thereabouts, 30 seconds per kilometre. Improvement on Telford, which was back end of the year. Looking at the splits, we'll run through them and then I'll talk to you about the race itself. So we went out mile 1 8:48, mile 2 8:54, mile 3 9:08, mile 4 8:58, mile 5 8:56, mile 6 9:11, and then the last 0.2 of a mile to finish was at 7:28, where we gave it everything we got left to get across the line. So sitting here and looking at those splits without knowledge of what my pacing strategy was, they look absolutely mustard, those splits do, to be perfectly honest. You know, we're miles 3 and mile 6 were the toughest miles. They were the two that there was a slight elevation, so they were the incline 14 feet and 18 feet respectively elevation. And more importantly, they were the 2 miles where we were long straights into a headwind. Nothing you could do about it. It was just into a headwind. It wasn't brutal, but you knew it was there. You could tell the difference. Now, as I say, looking at the splits, just outright like that, fantastic. However, I went into the race with a pacing strategy. My target was to neg split and was to effectively go out, start at mile 1 being, the target was sub 55. So firstly, the target was sub 55 on the pacing strategy. Anything PB I'd have been over the moon with, but I had in my head trying to get as close to 55 as I could. So we set the pacing strategy up to go sub 55. We used the Garmin Pace Pro and set it up as a negative split. So it basically had me going from around about 9:16, what should have been mile 1, down to around about 8:36, which should have been the last 1.2 miles. So got about 3/4 of a mile through the first mile, or 3/4 of the way through the first mile, and checked my watch. I was running fast. I'd gone out at about 8:31 at that point. So I backed right off in the second part of the mile. Mile 2 was a target of 9:06 and I was at 8:54, so still too quick. Mile 3 was targeted at 8:56 and I ran a 9:08. So going into mile 3, I'd got a 37 second window, which I'd already overachieved in the first 2 miles. As I say, mile 3 and mile 6 were into a headwind, uphill. Got mile 3 out of the way, got into mile 4, which should have been around about 8:46. I was about 10 seconds slow. And didn't really feel like I'd got a massive kick in me to kick on. Knew I'd still got a little bit of time left going into mile 5 and mile 6 on the sub 55 from what the watch was telling me. We got into mile 6 and there was just no real kick there. Like I say, it was one of the tougher miles. It was into a headwind. It was uphill, albeit it was only 18 feet of elevation, an ever so slight incline, but you could feel it. You knew it was there, and just brain telling my feet to go, my body not letting myself go until I really got into that last probably 1/4 of a mile where I really did just give it everything I'd got, left everything I'd got out on the course, and to be fair, probably went about 100 metres early, because the last 100 metres to the finish line were a real labour, but we crossed the finish line. And yeah, first thing I did, check the watch as always, and a 55:25, so over the moon with that. To think I started around about a year earlier, end of February 2020. First race I ran was Carsington Water 10k, and I ran that in 1:05 something. So in the course of a year, we've shaved 10 minutes off a 10k, which is huge. So yeah, that's that, guys. Racing for now is finished. I intend to still get out and do some videos surrounding running and racing. The plan will be to get out to some local events where a lot of the South Derbyshire guys will be running, and document those races. There's some 6 mile races, some 10k races, some don't think there's any half marathons, but we'll get in and amongst and do some filming, and we'll also upload and share the films that we create, or the edits that we create on those, to the guys at South Derbyshire for their own viewing as well. I also, as it stands at the moment, have plans to go to Manchester still and video the race. If my knee's okay, I may take the bike up there and ride around in order to get as much footage as I can. And then the following week, we are looking at potentially going to London for the London Marathon as well. Before all of that, we've got Ashby 20, which a lot of the lads are entering. So we may, again, it'll be all dependent on whether my knee's in a stable enough place for me to get on the bike, and if so, then I might get on the bike and get around Ashby 20, ride around and see some of the lads running there. But for now, for me, the racing journey is over. Wrong turn of phrase. The racing journey is suspended.
until we have got the operation out of the way and we've rehabbed and recovered. I hope to be back end of the year, where we are going to set some half marathons, some 10Ks, and then we are going to look at marathon training again for next year, probably sign back up for the Manchester Marathon next year. So for now, I will see you on the other side of the operating table. Thanks as always for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Please hit the bell button so you get notified when we drop a new video, and I will see you soon. Cheers guys, see you later.